Okay, hello everybody.
Hello, Bhante. Everyone, can you please unmute? Can you put your hand at your chest? It's so pretty. Anyone say hello, Venerable Sir?
Hello, thanks, hello everybody. So let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your legs, hands, and face are visible. In the video, we hear here Kong Kong. Who is that? I think we do not have Kun Kun in the list, right? Is that your name?
Jackie wants to go to the bathroom.
So we are having here somebody called Kun Kun. Is that right? Now disappeared. Okay, so it's Kiara. Okay, that's good. So Kiara needs to name herself as Kiara. Otherwise, I don't know. Fine. So as we are sitting in a comfortable meditation posture with the back erect, side cast down, we will keep our eyes a little open and see the floor right in front of us or whatever is in front of us. Down there. So we don't look straight ahead, not at all. Instead, we cast the sight down. And so we see whatever is down there, right in front of us. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. And we continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy and changing. And we allow this heaviness to grow. And we enjoy this heaviness. Now let's share this peace with other living beings. In our minds, voicelessly, we will wish, we will allow. We don't force or expect, just allow, permit. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly mindfully change the way of our sitting. And when we have changed the way of our sitting, we will take one more minute, during which we will be like a statue without any movement at all, except breathing. And we will watch our mind, what's going on in the mind. Is there any feeling, or thinking, or desire, or disappointment? Or is there any seeing, hearing? But we watch the seeing in the eyes, and we watch the hearing in the ears. Alright, very well. So everybody come close to your camera, and I will will ask you, how peaceful did you feel during this meditation? So you will be grading your peace, and you will be grading it from 0 to 10. Okay? So 0 is totally no peace. It means as if you were boiled in a boiling water in hell. Okay, that is 0. 10 is as if you were flying in the heaven on the cloud. All right, the most beautiful ever possible. All right, so if it is like 5, then it would be, well, it's pretty peaceful, nothing special. All right, 4 would be not really peaceful. 3 would be quite bad, but not so bad. 2 is very bad. 1 is excruciating pain. All right. And 6 would be nice feeling, but not very special. 7, very, very good. 8, extremely amazing. All right. 9 would be almost like in heaven, but not yet. All right. So you need to grade your peace you had in meditation. All right. Each of you can grade only one time. Grade according to your feeling. Doesn't have to be correct. So everybody give mark to your peace. All right, we will accept only the first one. So be careful before you give the grade, because all of the second, third, and so on, we don't care at all. We don't care. Right? So grade only one time, because all others are totally useless. We will not consider them at all. You need to be mindful when you grade your piece. Yes, May? May, I cannot hear you. You're muted.
I graded a 10.
I noticed. So, May, you cannot actually lie down during this session because I'm also not lying down, okay? So it's not fair. You need to sit down. Yes, thank you very much. Bennett? Bennett, are you here? You're muted. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I accidentally raised my hand.
Okay, so put it down. Do you know how to put your down? Okay. Nice. Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
And we will get to our precepts. So I would like to ask everybody to unmute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still waiting for Dustin, for Alex, for Vonya Hui to unmute. I'm waiting for Leung Nguyen and Kai Nguyen to unmute, and Quang Kai to unmute. Okay, good. Vonya Hui, are you here with us? Good. So you can keep your hands together at the chest, and let's start right away. Yamahan vadami tang vadesa. Aham bhante visarane nasaha panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anugahang katva silang deta me bhante anukampang upadaya Dutiyampi aham bhante
Abhijyati aham bande.
Tisaranena saha.
Isaranena
Panchasilang dhammang yajami.
Panchasilang saranam yajami.
Anugraham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tapiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anugraham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Always wait until I nod with my head like this before you start with the next sentence. Okay, let's continue. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Sarana-gamanam paripurnam. Yuikiem, what is the first precept?
No killing.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Baulam, what is the second precept?
No stealing.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. So, Felix, what is the third precept?
No drinking alcohol.
No, wrong. Try another one. No, it was wrong. Felix, try another one. So, Mimi, can you help Felix?
I think it's do not tell lies.
No, that's wrong. So, Minkoa, can you help Mimi and Felix? Minqua, are you here?
Wait.
Can you tell us what is the third precept?
No sexual misconduct.
That's right. So, Vumimi, do you know what is the third precept?
No sexual misconduct.
Thank you very much. So, Felix, what is the third precept?
I couldn't hear that well.
Yeah, you couldn't hear Minqua saying the third precept? No? So,
Because
Minqua,
people
can you please...
were
Yeah, I heard them, so no problem. Minqua, can you please say it again? What is the third precept?
no sexual misconduct.
That's right. Felix, did you hear it?
I
No?
can't hear.
Okay. Vumimi, can you try to say it a little louder and clearer?
Yes, Venerable Sir. It's no sexual misconduct.
Felix, did you hear it? Felix, did you hear it?
I heard it, but like there was little spaces, like
There are
pause.
spaces. You never heard the third precept before in your life?
I haven't been in Pumble like in all Pumble classes. I haven't been here like for a lot of times.
Okay, okay. So Vumimi, can you try to tell it again? Let's see if it works.
No sexual misconduct.
So Felix, did you hear it? What did you hear,
No
Felix?
sexual conduct.
No sexual misconduct.
No sexual misconduct.
Yeah. So Felix, what it means is that when somebody is married with one woman, he will not have he will not enjoy with another woman. All right. And if there is a woman married with a man, she will not enjoy with another man. She will always enjoy with her man. Now it's clear?
Yes.
So it is called no sexual misconduct. Okay. Sometimes we also call it no adultery and no cheating. Okay. But the problem is that no adultery is only in case if you are not married and and the person enjoys with someone who is married with someone else. So that's adultery. And then cheating is when the married person is enjoying with someone else than their husband or wife. So they're not really complete. So we use the no sexual misconduct so that everything is complete. So for example, a man is not married. A man is not married, but he falls in love with a woman who is married with someone else.
No.
And that is the cause of sexual misconduct. All right. Similarly, a woman is not married. She falls in love with a man who is married with some other woman. Then when this first woman enjoys with this man who's married, to someone else, then that also is sexual misconduct. So it's not only the fault of the one who's married, but also of the one who's not married. So how should it be done? Well, one who is not married and another person who's not married, they get married and they enjoy together. That's the way to do it. Is it clear, Felix?
Okay.
Kame sumichhajara vera manisikha padang samadhyami. Huang Kai, are you here? Huang Kai's camera, something's wrong. I see only white. Huang Kai? Huang Kai, are you here? You will have to take Huang Kai to a breakout room.
Venerable Sir, I said I was going to the toilet.
Okay, very good. Well done. So, Huang Kai, can you tell me what is the fourth precept?
No telling lies.
That's right. Thank you very much. Musavada vera manisikha padang samadhyami. Can you tell me what is the fifth precept?
No drinking alcohol
And the second part?
or drugs.
That's right. Drugs. Sura meraya majjapamada thana vera manisikha padang samadhya. I see Jasmine is having some fun with the mass. Jasmine, can you repeat after me the fifth precept? Sura meraya majjapamada thana vera manisikha padang samadhyami. I would like to hear only Jasmine. I would like to hear only Jasmine. So let's try it again. Only Jasmine now. Sura meraya majjapamada thana vera manisikha padang samadhyami. Okay, I see. It's a little difficult, right, for you, Jasmine? So let's go little by little. Sura meraya. Sura meraya. Majja. Pamadatthana. Veramani. Sikhapadang. Samadhyami. Tisaranena saddheng panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakhitang katva appamadena sampadetha. May we be healthy, may we attain eternal bliss of So I think we can mute. All right, so let's move on to our story.
Devante, do we ask them this question about meditation every day?
About meditation. Maybe sometime later. Thank you for the reminding. So now let's continue. Let's continue to our story. So I have given you some information last week about the Buddha to be, and we were reading about the Setaketu. We were talking about Setaketu. So Vumimi, what is Setaketu?
Yes, Venerable Sir.
Do you know what is Setaketu?
No.
Have you ever heard that word, Setaketu? No? Who has heard it? Raise hand only those who know the answer, okay? Do not raise your hand if you don't know the answer, or this will be so embarrassing, right? Kiara, what is Setaketu? Okay, so Hoang Tuan Min, what is Setaketu? Hoang Tuan Min, can you help? Who's that? What is Setaketu? Do you know what is it? Hoang Tuan Min? What is Setaketu? Hoang Tuan Min?
I don't know.
So why did you raise your hand? Why did you raise your hand? You didn't know about it. Okay, very. What is Setaketu?
It's like a god.
It's like a god, okay. Robert, can you tell us more about that god?
It was the Buddha's second to last life before he became the human Buddha that was fully enlightened.
Perfect, thank you very much. So that is Setaketu. So right before the last life of the Buddha, in his right previous life, he was a god and his name was Setaketu. So then, Bennett, can you tell us what happened at the end of Setaketu's life? Bennett.
He so he vanished and nobody could like go to see him or like cannot go to him, and he was free from all of his life.
No, not at all. That was not what happened at the end of Setaketu's life. We are now here talking about Setaketu God. And after Setaketu died, he was very easy to find. Very easy. All of the world knew where is Setaketu after he died. So no, something else happened at the end of Setaketu's life. By the end, close to the end. What was that? Whoever knows, please raise your hand. Franklin.
They don't enjoy sitting on their throne.
He did not enjoy sitting on their throne. Anything else?
They become dull.
He became dull. Okay. Anything else? Well, what became dull?
The god.
The god became dull? I don't
I
think
think.
so. Something else became dull. Robert, what became dull?
The flowers on his head began to wither. He no longer enjoyed sitting on his throne.
Yeah.
He began to sweat.
And what became dull?
The clothing.
The clothing became dirty, right? But something became dull. So, Cherry, do you know what became dull?
His body.
His body. Let me see. I also forgot it. You can look into your notes. When I'm asking you these questions, you can look into your notes. No problem at all.
I think it's body.
His body. Okay, what became dull on his body? How do you understand it?
It's in my notes.
I see, their body becomes dull. Okay, probably the body color, right? Probably the skin color could become dull. What do you think, Robert?
Yeah.
Maybe possible? Okay, good. Thank you. So, Franklin, what else happened? Now, you said what happened with his body and with his mind, but what happened around him? Something happened with around him. What was that?
The flowers become withered.
No, that's still about his body. We want to know something like about the place where he was. Something happened in that place. What happened in that place? May, can you help? May, what happened in the place close to the death of the god Setaketu?
Setaketu?
Okay, Rere, what happened close to the Buddha and close to the Setaketu god's death around him? Something happened in that heaven. Sorry?
So like he started to feel uncomfortable.
That's about him. That's about his body and mind. But we want to know what happened outside of his body and mind. What happened in that place? No idea. Bennett, Do you have any idea? Bennett. Instead of saying nonsense, in the chat box, perhaps people here could raise their hand and help us move on, because I want to get that answer. So, Robert, any idea?
Before he died, all the gods of 10,000 levels came to visit him and gave their what was it?
Yes. They were not really all the gods. It's not a precise information. Franklin, would you know what precisely is the correct information? Who were those gods?
I don't know.
I don't know, so don't raise your hand. May, do you know who are those gods who gathered? No, you don't. So don't raise your hand if you don't know. Well, otherwise I ask you, then we wait, and we're losing time. They were the kings of gods. They were the kings of gods of the 10,000 world system. So they gathered and they spoke to the Buddha to be. All right. So, Mimi, what did these 10,000 kings of gods, or not 10,000, kings of gods from 10,000 worlds? So you would get, from each world, you would get maybe, well, perhaps around 20 gods, 20 kings of gods. So that would be 10,000 times 20, so about 200,000 kings of gods. Okay, so what did these about, let's say, 200,000 kings of gods tell to the Buddha to be, Cherry?
They encouraged Setaketu to be born in the human life.
That's right.
Where he would become an omniscient, unknown Buddha.
That's right, omniscient Buddha. Thank you very much. Yes, in short, they encouraged him to die. All right? So they encouraged him to die because they knew that when he dies, he will be born as a human and then he will become the Buddha. So as a Buddha, he can then help not only the humans, but also the gods in the heavens. All right, so let's move on. Everybody take your notebook. Everybody write down your date. For those in US or Jamaica, it is now September 15, 2023. For those in Vietnam or Myanmar, it is September 16, 2023. All right, so now we will be learning about the Buddha to be's 5 investigations. So hopefully everybody has written their date because we really don't have much time and we have so much to learn. So the Buddha to be, Setaketu, the god, all right, he did not hastily die. He did not hastily die, and he did not hastily agree. All right. Instead, he made 5 great investigations. So who knows what's an investigation? Please raise your hand if you know what's this word. What is an investigation? Is it related to cooking or to traveling, or is it related to dancing or singing? What is investigation? We want to know the meaning of the word. Anyone who knows what the word means, please raise your hand. If you know what investigation means, raise your hand. And get ready your explanation, You cannot just like, oh, well, I have heard it somewhere. You need to get ready your explanation because I will ask you, so what is investigation, right? So you need to be ready to answer right away. So, who did not speak yet? Well, everybody spoke already. Only the people who already spoke are raising their hands, right? So, what about Cherry? What is investigation?
It means to like observe something.
Okay, thank you. Robert, what is investigation?
An investigation is a group, one or more people searching for an answer to a problem.
Perfect. Very good. Very good. May, how would you explain what is investigation? How do you understand the word?
Investigation is a group of people who solve a problem.
Who said?
Search to
Bravo.
Okay, sounds like what we have heard from Robert. Thank you very much. Okay, very good. Minqua, how do you understand the word investigation? Try to use different words than what you have heard so far.
It's like to investigate something.
What is to investigate something?
It's like we find things and we find answers for something.
Searching answer for something. Thank you very much. Bennett, how do you understand the word investigation?
like so like they like figure out like problems.
Figure out solution for a problem? Okay, very well. So the Buddha made 5 investigations. Let's look at them. So these are, so investigation indeed is searching a solution for a problem. Here the Buddha to be was alone to do that, so nobody helped him with that. He had to know by himself. So the first problem, it needs to be appropriate time for appearance of a Buddha. Okay, so he cannot be born at a wrong time. We will be discussing it a little later. So it needs to be the right time. It needs to be the right place. You see, appropriate island, continent. It needs to be the right country. It needs to be the right family, and also it needs to be also the Bodhisatta's mother needs to have the right lifespan. Oh, I don't see it. I don't see the options. Oh, here it is. Okay. So now let's discuss these in detail. So first one, the Bodhisatta considered first, is the time right or not for the appearance of a Buddha in the human world? The time is not okay for a coming of the Buddha if the human beings are gradually increasing in their lifespan. The Buddha always appears when the human's lifespan gradually decreases. In Buddhism, we believe that the lifespan of humans increases and decreases. So now our lifespan is somewhere around 100. But we believe that after many, many thousands of years, the normal human lifespan will be about 80 years, and then 60 years, and 40 years, and 20 years, and 10 years. People will get married when they're 5-year-olds. But that's after a long time. At that time, people will be killing each other and stealing from each other, and those who don't kill, and those who respect their parents, they will be blamed. They will be accused. Oh, you're so stupid. Why do you not kill? Why do you not steal? Okay, so that's coming later in the future. So the situation is getting worse and worse. Later, when people have lifespan of 10 years, then there will be a huge, huge war. After that war finishes, after 7 days of that war, then people will come out and will say, you know what, let's not kill. And so they don't kill, and they find out that their lifespan, their life length, the length of their life increases from 10 years, let's say, to 15 or 20 years. Suddenly they can live 20 years. They say, you know what, guys, let's not steal. So not only that they don't kill, they also don't steal. And their lifespan again increases, and it's longer, 30 years. And then they say, you know what, guys, let's not tell lies. And so they don't tell lies, so their lifespan increases even more. And they don't even drink alcohol, so their lifespan even increases more and more and more and more, generation after generation. Not for a single person, generation after generation. And so the humankind, the people on the planet, gradually increase in the length of their life from 10 years gradually to 100 years, to 200 years, to 500 years, to 1,000 years, to 2,000 years, to 5,000 years, to 10,000 years, to 100,000 years, to 400,000 years. And then, after some time, one of them tells a lie. Sorry. And so the lifespan again starts to decrease because one tells a lie, then another one kills, and another one steals, and another one drinks alcohol. So the lifespan again goes down and down and down and down until 10 years. And then again it goes up and up and up and up. So that's the nature of lifespan according to the Buddha's teachings. And the Buddha to be can appear in the world only when the lifespan is gradually decreasing. All right. So why? Probably, to help more, because when the lifespan is decreasing, the Buddha can support the beings and maybe slow down the decrease. Owing to such longevity, suffering caused by birth, suffering caused by disease, suffering caused by old age, and suffering caused by death are not manifest. So when people have long life and their life is getting longer and longer, it is little hard to understand suffering of birth, old age, illness, and death. But when their lifespan is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, well, then they're afraid and they want to do something about it. And that's when they listen to the Buddha's teachings. Veiled by their lengthy lifespan, human beings tend to be oblivious to all suffering. Well, that's what we just said. The Dhamma sermons to be delivered by the Buddha invariably center around the characteristics of impermanence, suffering, and not-self. So all Buddhas, they teach that everything is changing. Nothing is reliable. Nothing is stable. Everything is changing. We feel like it is stable, so we attach to it. But when it gets broken or lost or stolen, well, then we suffer. Okay? Because we did not understand that it is changing. So the Buddha explains, hey, wait, it is changing. Do not attach. Suffering. Suffering is of many kinds, like pain or losing something, being unsuccessful, not getting what you want, being bound to what you don't want, getting old, and many other kinds of suffering, such as crying and wailing and lamenting and being tired and being deceived and being lied to, and so on and on and on. A lot of suffering in this world. And then non-self. Non-self means that there is no permanent substance called me. Everything that we call me is only a concept. It's something that helps us to communicate. But it doesn't really describe the ultimate, the real nature of things. Because in real nature, there is no me. In the same way, like in real nature, there is no pen or table, there is only atoms, and even the atoms are still made of quarks, and so on. All right. If Buddhas who appear when the lifespan is more than 100,000 years, yes, is more than 100,000 years, give sermons on the nature of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, not self, then the people of that period will be confused. They will wonder, why is the Buddha teaching about suffering? Oh, they live 100,000 years. What's going on? They're happy. 100,000 years life is no problem. They're fine. Why would they see any problem with that? They will neither listen to or nor believe the Buddha's teachings. Without listening or believing, the people would, yes, that's just repeating what we just said. They will never realize the Four Noble Truths, that means the main Buddha's teachings, and they will not achieve enlightenment. So it would be fruitless. So the period when the lifespan extends more than 1,000 years is not the proper time for Buddhas to appear. The period when the lifespan of human beings falls below 100 years is also not proper for a Buddha's appearance because it's too short. And the people will not have enough time, to listen, to take care of what the Buddha is teaching. In fact, the people would die too early. So that would not be very good. All right. So the Buddha to be needs to become human at the time when the human being's lifespan is somewhere between 100 and 100,000. So only the periods ranging from 100,000 years lifespan to 100 years lifespan are right for the coming of the Buddha. Okay, so this is a very important point. So I'll highlight it here. And then let's continue somewhere further. So then the Buddha, whoever wants to go to sleep, you can. Please do not ask me or tell me anything. Just go ahead and sleep. So then he investigated the island continent, which serves as the place for the appearance of the Buddha. So there are 4 large island continents in this world. Each is surrounded by 500 smaller islands. Well, that's what they believed. You can believe it or not. Probably it's not accurate, but it doesn't matter. The main point here is that there are big islands and they're surrounded by small islands, and that's totally true. Of these, one, which is called Jambudvipa, also known as the Indian subcontinent, but we know it also as India. Sometimes this word Jambudvipa is a little complicated. Jambu means rose apple. Deepa is an island. I will show you how a rose apple looks like. So let's look at some rose apple. I would love to know who of you ever ate this fruit, rose apple. If you have ever had this fruit, please raise your hand. Me too. I also had a rose apple and a lot of it. If you had rose apple, raise your hand. If you don't raise your hand, I will think you never had a rose apple in your life. Cherry, you never ate this fruit? You never ate it? Cherry. Franklin, you never ate rose apple? Did you see the picture that I was showing? Yeah, you did? Okay. So, Vonyat Hui, you never ate rose apple in your life?
Yes.
You ate rose apple?
Yes.
So why didn't you raise your Zoom hand?
I forgot.
You forgot. So please be present here. Chan Vin Nguyen, did you ever eat rose apple in your life? You can unmute and say yes or no. Do you remember eating it? You don't remember ever eating rose apple? Okay, I think your parents may like to find out. Minkoa, did you ever eat rose apple in your life?
I never.
You never. Where do you live?
I live in Ho Chi Minh City.
You live in Ho Chi Minh? Okay, that's so interesting. Rere, you never ate rose apple in your life?
I've never.
Okay, that's so interesting. Robert, you never ate rose apple in your life?
No, Venerable Sir, I have not.
Okay. So this fruit is the characteristic fruit for India. And it's also the characteristic fruit for the I think it's like Asian subcontinent, all of that portion where you get Myanmar and Vietnam and India and Thailand and Cambodia and China and so on. That all is characterized in our scriptures, in Buddhist scriptures, by this one fruit, jambu, or rose apple. Rose apple. Okay? Okay, yeah, in the US it's definitely not common, but I'm sure in Vietnam it is easily available. All right, so now let's continue. So that was rose apple. It tastes a little bit like guava, but I worry that many of you also didn't eat guava, so it will not help much. Then, of these, one which is called Jambudipa, as it is distinguished by Jambu, rose apple, you see, tree growing on it, was discerned clearly by the Buddha as the only island continent on which previous Buddhas had appeared. So the reason for selecting the Asian subcontinent, the place of India and around, is not because it would be nice or because people are wise or anything else. It's simply because other Buddhas appeared there in the past. All right? And the Buddha Gautama was the Buddha number 4 in this world. So previous 3 Buddhas appeared in India. So it makes sense that the Buddha to be appears in there as well. Now let's look at number 3. I think we can make it all of the 5. Let's see. Then he went on investigating thus. This Jambudipa is extremely vast, measuring 10,000 yojanas. So that's like 100,000 kilometers. It's a large continent. Where did former Buddhas appear in this large expanse of land? Probably is a spelling mistake. Let's correct that. Then he saw Majjhima Desa, the middle country in Jambudipa, as the place for the appearance of ancient Buddha. So let's look at where is Majjhima Desa. All right, let me see if I can get the correct picture. So here, no, that's not it. Majjhima Desa. Do we get it written somewhere? Okay, so as you can see, now Vietnam is over here. Okay, this is Vietnam. Then, but this is in the Buddha's time, so it's a little more complicated. So in the Buddha's time, we're looking at India, all right? You get Myanmar over here. Oh, I see, that's a river, that's not the country. So we get Vietnam today by here. We get Thailand over here, Cambodia a little bit below, a large Laos also over there, and we get Myanmar somewhere here. Okay, Myanmar is here with a little tail over there. And then right next to that, we get India. Okay, a large triangle, India. And the Majjhima Desa, that's here. That's what you can see over here. These places, these are places where the Buddha himself visited. Vesali, Pataliputta, Rajagiri, Bodh Gaya, then Sankissa, Mathura, yes, Savatthi, Kapilavattu. All right. So this is the most important. These are the most important places where the Buddha traveled during his life. All right. These are some travels of some other person, but the Buddha traveled a lot in these places. So we call this northern portion of India Majjhima Desa, the middle region. All right, because it's in the middle. It's probably because it's between the India, and it's between the Himalaya mountains. All right, so somewhere in the middle between that. All right, so the Buddha, the Buddha saw Majjhima Desa in Jambudvipa, and there also were the ancient Buddhas. So here we get some kind of geography that's definitely not needed at this moment. And in the middle country was situated Kapilavattu, the royal city of the kingdom of the Sakyas. So there were Sakyas, people called Sakyas, like you have Vietnamese in this, and you have Burmese, and you have Czechs. In the similar way, you have Sakyas, and they had their own kingdom. All right, and in that kingdom there was the main city, Kapilavattu. Royal city actually here means capital city. So the capital city, Kapilavattu, in the country of Sakyas. Okay. So the Bodhisatta god, Setaketu, Bodhisatta means Buddha to be. So the Buddha to be, God Setaketu, decided that he should be born in that capital city of the Sakyans. Okay. But their country was not really called, the Sakyan country. Like you have Cambodia is the country of Khmers. All right. Or you get, what else would you have? Or you get Netherlands is the country of the Dutch, and so on. So you get a different name for the people and different name for the country. Here also, the people were called Sakyas, but the country was called Magadha. But that's not important at this moment. Let's continue. Investigating the family in which the Buddha in his last existence should be reborn, he saw the former bodhisattas in their respective last existences belonged neither to the merchant class nor to the poor class. Okay, so the Buddha-to-bes in the past, the previous three Buddha-to-bes, now this one was the fourth in the time of this world. So the previous three were never born in a family of merchants, and they were never born in a family of poor people. They were either born in the royal family or in the family of priests. Okay, so they were born only in a royal or Brahmin family. Brahmin means the priests, those who guide various sacrifices and prayers. So whichever is considered superior by the people at that time. Sometimes the royal family is considered superior, more powerful, more authoritative than the priests. Sometimes, however, the priests are considered superior and the royal family is below. So at the time when people show the highest honor to the ruling families, the Buddha and the Bodhisatta is born in their class. At the time when people do so to the Brahmins, he is born in one of the priest families. So at the present time, however, it was the aristocrats or the royal family that was honored the most. So the Buddha-to-be knew that he needs to be born in a royal family. So one of these chiefs of such a royal family was the king Suddhodana, right? And he was a direct descendant. That means he was the son of a 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 son, and so on, until the great man called Mahasammata, the first king in this world. All right? The first elected primeval king. What's that? That's the first king who was voted for, who was selected by people. Okay? Elected means from selected. Selected, elected. It's the same word. So people selected the king as their very first king, the man called Mahasammata. All right? Okay, so the rest we basically already explained. And now number 5. Finally, he investigated as to who should be his mother in his last human existence. So he saw the royal mother of a Buddha is a paragon of modesty and chastity. You have here a little mistake. So the royal mother of a Buddha is a paragon. That means is an exemplar, is an exemplary person of modesty and chastity. She never indulges in drinking alcohol or taking drugs. She has made a lot of good deeds. And she has been training herself in generosity, morality, renunciation, wisdom, and patience, and truthfulness, and so on. For many, many years, for 100,000 eons, and 1 eon is an incredibly long period, so that she could become a mother of a Buddha. So then the Buddha needs to find out that kind of mother who has trained herself to be a mother of the Buddha for so long time. All right. Then that kind of mom was available. Siri Mahamaya Devi. In short, Maya. You see, Siri means that she is very rich and successful. Maha means that she is great, that she is very powerful. Maya is her real name, and Devi means that she is the queen. The successful, powerful queen called Maya. Siri Mahamaya Devi. The chief consort, that means the chief queen of King Suddhodana. All right? And she had all of those qualities. So the Buddha to be decided that she will be his mother. All right, so that's what we will write down, and that's all for today. So get ready your notebooks. You can write down during the class, and also you can write down a little later from Viber, but I can assure you, you will be a little lazier. You will be definitely lazy to write it down because it's an additional thing, you know, that you could just do right here. So let's get to the writing right away, and we will write a little heading, and that will be 5 investigations of the god Setaketu. All right, this will be your little heading, and then under that you will write. Yes, you will write the little list.
Can I leave now?
Anyone can leave right now if you want. If you want to write it later, if you don't want to write it later, it's better if you don't leave and you write it right now. Those who have to sleep, please go to sleep and write it later. So let's get to that. It's not all yet, but I will be sending you the last one. The number 5 is missing. Well, I also have to write it, right? But I want you to write it down so you remember for a long time. And you still have 8 minutes. No hurry. The class is supposed to take 1 hour and 30 minutes. So you still have 8 minutes. Yeah, 1 hour is like the main point. And then we do like some additional things like answering questions or writing notes during the remaining 30 minutes. Okay, so you have it all in here. I would like to ask Tutam to save it. I will also save it for me. Yes, now it's all. If you have finished writing, you can. Or if you're sure, if you're enthusiastic and happy and joyful to write it later, you can leave and write it later. Oh, amazing. You're so fast. Do you type it on a computer or do you write it by hand? Baolam. You write it by hand? You're so fast. I wonder whether it is readable. Are you then able to read it very easily? You use the computer? Okay. Then it's very fast, sure. But rather than copy paste, I would be happy if you can type it out. If you use computer, it's okay, but always please type it out. Okay, that's good. Yeah, if you finished, thank you very much for coming. See you later. See you next week. All right. So, whoever has finished, please raise your hand. Jiang Wu Kan Fuong, you haven't finished yet, right? So please remove your hand. So I will be here another 3 minutes with you. If you have any question, any problem. Okay, Baolam is leaving. Bye-bye. If you have any question, anything you want to say, it's the best time. If you don't understand something, or you see there's some spelling mistake or some error, let me know. Okay, Rara, you have finished?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to go, you can. Thank you very much for coming. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye bye, Venerable Buddha.
Wu Mimi, you finished?
Yes, Venerable
Nice.
Sir.
Okay. Thank you for coming. See you next week.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Tien Min, I think you will be writing it another day, right? Seems like you're now busy with something else. So, Tien Min, if you want to go, you can. I can understand. You cannot write anything now. And I will be also going. I have another meeting somewhere else. So it was a pleasure to see everybody. If you haven't finished writing, please continue writing. And if you want to write later, you can from the Viber group. But I would like to encourage you all to have it written, because when you can write it down, later you can easily remind yourself. And when I ask you some questions, then you can easily look at your notes and find out the answer. John Van Nguyen, have you finished writing?
Yes.
Nice, thank you very much. So thank you everyone for coming. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Bante. Everyone, can you please unmute? Can you put your hand at your chest? Yeah, we will spend a little time and say goodbye to the doctor. You put your hand at your chest. You want to say goodbye, Venerable Doctor?
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Bye.
Venerable Sir.